As I stated in this series of videos that we're showing today, it's all about sabotage. Racism, white supremacy has always made sure to sabotage our progress, to do for self, not, beg. Because you notice that we go beg for food stamps, beg for welfare, we can actually get that. But when we try to do for self, there's a section in the 10 precepts of slavery jurisprudence that calls powerlessness. And in that section, it says that we must keep them weak so we can be in control at all times. And that's what the sabotage is meant to do. Understand? If you can't do for yourself and you have to depend on white supremacy for everything, you are weak. You have no strength. You have no power whatsoever. And that's why you are sabotaged and you are made to struggle more than anyone else, because the system was built off of you being at the bottom and anti-black hatred. So we look at it in the area of business owners. We talked about home ownership. We talked about how we're sabotaged with our children in schools. Now, black businesses are denied bank loans twice as often as white business owners. Now, they say that it's routinely happening. Even if you have a good credit score and consistent annual profits, they said more than any other racial group, black entrepreneurs more frequently hear no when going after business loans. So they say in one case is Freddie Lee James and his wife, Deborah, who started Freddie Lee's Gourmet Sauces in St. Louis back in 2010. Said the couple had a good credit score and $200,000 in annual yearly profits. Their barbecue sauce is currently sold at more than 1,000 retail stores. That is successful to get your sauce in more than 1,000 stores across the United States and Jamaica, including Home Goods, Schnucks, DeBerg's, Straub, and Hy-Vee, yet they can't qualify for a business loan. That is crazy. You showing that your product's successful, you're making at least $200,000 a year after, taxes, etc., and profit, and yet you can't get a business loan. Now they say we have a 750 to 760 credit score. Great credit score. We pay all our debts. He said we have no problems with that, but that they were saying the sauce business is not generating enough capital to their standards. Now, say according to the U.S. Federal Reserve statistics, black business owners are denied loans by banks twice as often as white business owners. In 2014, it's underneath Barack Obama, when data was last made available nationally, more than half of all applications for bank loans from black-owned businesses were denied. This compares to about 25% of loan applications by white business owners in the same time frame. Now, let's talk about the Small Business Administration, the SBA, where you can go and get loans. Black people during Barack Obama only got 3% of the loans. George W. Bush, gave 9% loans underneath his presidency to black people underneath the SBA. That's sad, right? The supposedly first black president, and he only gave black people 3% of the loans. I guess that's some hope and change for you, right? So they said Deborah James, a sister, said that without bank funding, it's tough to expand business to achieve the bank's requirement for volume. She said it's impossible to reach the sales quota achieved by well-financed brands while working off a small business budget, according to the St. Louis Public Radio. She said to finance the business, a couple used $100,000 from Freddie Lee James's 401k, then went to Justine Peterson, a St. Louis microlender, for help. The nonprofit organization works with small businesses to help them improve their credit and qualify for loans. Now, a person by the name of Galen Godolphy stated that they're a senior loan officer and spokesman at the Justine Peterson, said there are many business owners in the same predicament as the Jameses. St. Louis seemingly provincially lending struggles not only with entrepreneurs that don't historically look like them, but also the type of businesses that are unique to populations. They say for black entrepreneurs seeking basic financial opportunities, the fight continues. Now, this is the next step for a lot of black business owners. You need to, like that brother that have that sauce, if you can go to the continent and get your sauce over there and even open up a division over there, your money goes a lot further, for one. And you can make so much more money actually on the continent because it's over 1 billion people on the African continent versus the United States. So if you can make some sauces that they can get down with, if you go study their spices and what they actually like and do your own research, you can make some money on the African continent, and it will not cost you so much capital to do so. You have to start expanding to the continent and getting people on the continent involved in what you're doing. Because once again, sabotage. They don't want to loan you anything because they don't want you and your wife to do for self. And this has been the constant issue with small business owners in the Black community. We talk about starting businesses, and you should, but they make it so hard. Then if you don't start a business and you work for a company, it's a glass ceiling. You can get all this education and still a glass ceiling. And then if you one of the lucky token Black folks to make it to the top, you got to shuck and jive. You got to be the extremely safe Black person. You better not say nothing about no Black issue if you make it up there to the top, because you'll be out of there. So it's like you're messed up if you do, you're messed up if you don't. I'd rather go on the route of business anyway. But what we need to do and understand is make sure our businesses, he got his stuff in Jamaica, but make sure it becomes international. That's the best route to go, is international, a lot of this. Because when you go international, the American dollar goes a lot further in other countries than it go here. But this is what Black business owners, the sabotage that they deal with, and this is what I want to talk about. Every area in society, we are constantly sabotaged. We're getting capital for businesses, schools, home ownership. We try to get, even when we do finance something, they charge us higher interest rates because we're Black. We get longer jail sentences than our white counterparts. I mean, we go through it in this country. And when I say the term Captain Black America, it's because what are you saying to any of this? No law gonna fix it, and reparations not gonna fix it. That's deep ingrained into this country. And we have to accept that as Black people. And we have to say we are changing direction. Look, you could have it. We gonna do what we do here, and that's fine. But we can take our talents elsewhere. You can still do some things here, but understand there's gonna be some limitations here for you being Black. I'm sorry, it is. I don't care how educated you are or whatever. There's gonna be some limitations. Now, some of us may make it, and that's far and few in between. There's not too many Jay-Z's coming or Akons or whatever coming out of America like that. It's not designed for us to come up like that. But the thing is, I'm not saying look down and think we can't make it and whatever. No, just understand that the only way we actually could make it is we would practice group economics like Dr. Claude Anderson told us to do. That's the only way to work, because we can't be individuals. We can't. Like other groups that come into this country, they're not individuals. They work together. All this separating and being apart doesn't work, but together we can do it. Even on my end, I try to work with other people in this space, other content creators. And I'm trying to work with people, bringing them, new people into the platform that you will see, as I'm trying to, expand myself. I don't have access to loans like that at all. That's why it's extremely important. And I'm going to start reiterating this. It's important that you support, your media outlets that you have that give you news and information. On our Patreon page, we have been trying to get 3,000 members. At least one person told me, say, man, you haven't got that 3,000 members yet? And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. I have all these people watching, have all these subscribers, but we still haven't gotten 3,000 members. We got over, I think right now, maybe 1,200 members. And if we had fully 3,000 members that say, yes, I can donate, $2 to $5 a month or more, whatever you choose, to the platform on Patreon. That way we can hire people, because that's why I'm at with it now. We need to hire people so we can get more content out, because we are lacking. We need to bring in more contributors. Well, you got to bring in people that you could pay. You can't just have people say, yeah, I'll do it. No, because it's your time. It's your energy. It's things I need you to do. And you got to be paid for it. It can't be free. I don't believe in free 99 with anybody. You have to be paid for, if anything else, your time. Because your time is worth something. Like you go to your job, they pay you for your time, whatever you make per hour. So what we're saying is help us get to that 3,000 members on our Patreon page. You know, we work very hard to try to put out news and information. You know, a lot of people, you know, say they like what we do here, but one day it's not here anymore because we don't have the funding. You know, I done got burnt out, you know, because that happens with me at times. I get burnt out. And when I get burnt out, I need to back off. I don't need to not do content for a week because I'm burnt out. I should have other contributors here that's constantly giving you the news constantly, so nothing stops if I get burnt out. We got to bring people in, but the only way we can bring people in unless the people support us on avenues like Patreon. Like I said, we get our 3,000 members, we can hire some people, and that'll make life so much easier and increase our production value of what we're doing to get more news and information out. I mean, at the end of the day, you can't just say that, well, you know, YouTube does ads. Like, you can't ever depend on that because they can take that away from you at any given time. Never depend on that. But we're always talking about we need this, we need this. Now, as an individual, a lot of things we can't do. But, you know, $2 or possibly $5 per month, you know, if the content, you know, you watch it daily, you know, and you appreciate it. Well, we're asking you to support, you know, monthly. If you can commit to that this year in 2020. So, you know what? I can commit $2 a month for 2020. I can commit $5 or more, whatever you choose to do, but at least a minimum of 2 or 5. I can commit that because I appreciate the platform. I appreciate everything that we're doing. And like I said, the more you support, the more I'm gonna do. Every time I've gotten support from you guys, I've returned it right back with just producing content. And I enjoy doing what I do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about anything, but it needs to expand. I believe you guys deserve more stories, more content, more quality, and we can give it. Just the only thing that holds us back is just funding. That's it. I'm in the same position as this business. I can't go to a bank and ask them for money to $100,000 so I can say, okay, I can hire some employees, I can buy some equipment, I can do this, no. If we don't have it through the people, we don't have it at all. That's the way our thing works, at least for right now. Now we expand on the content and try to do some other things, but the people, if you enjoy it, whether you not even live in the United States, you can do the Patreon as well. You could donate, you care you to Europe, Africa, it doesn't matter. We have people all over the world emailing me constantly about things, but we need the support so we can produce more and more content for you guys to learn and grow. So make sure you go down to our link. We have in the pinned comment, we have a link that says for our Patreon. And then to sign up, you know, just decide if you can do $2 to $5 a month. That's all it would be. And then you could greatly help us out, or we can produce more content and definitely hire people. We need to hire people ASAP. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story about capital with small business owners, because it is a very real thing. And it's very frustrating too. It's very, very frustrating when you want to grow your business, but you can't get loans.